Hey brothers and sisters, my name is Tyler. Welcome back to the channel. I think it is time that we expose Citadel Connect, as well as we are going to go over the other information that you guys need to know about relative to AMC going into this upcoming week. We're going to look at the technical analysis, go over the Ortex data. Like I always say, take that with a grain of salt. We're also going to look at the potential for a gamma squeeze and to understand Citadel Connect and how they are manipulating the markets, and we're going to get all into that. You have to know about dark pools. So we're also going to cover that with a majority of this video as well. So with that being said, hit that like button for me if you want to see Citadel go down in the dirt once the short squeeze is over, as well as consider hitting that subscribe button if you want more videos like this. So getting right into it, guys, let's just look at the technical levels because this is going to be the fastest thing that we have to cover in this video. So what we're looking at as far as right now on the daily candlestick chart, we have the 50-day moving average at $38.29. Now we closed at about $34 per share, so definitely a little bit away from that, about $4 away from that, but that could happen very fast, and I do expect this to be a bit of a resistance level, but once you break that, it's going to be a solid support level. Ultimately, I think we're going to find that solid support at about $40 per share for a lot of different reasons. We had a lot of apes exercise contracts at $40 strikes, as well as even $20 strikes, so I don't think it's coming back down to those levels. Even if we do see a down week next week, I think that $30 price point, or $33 to be more exact, will continue to be a solid support. But what we're gonna want to see is if the volume starts to pick up, because you see this stair step like motion. Once you do get that huge volume day, you tend to see a huge pop in the share price, just like we did see on July 15th. And then after that, we've seen a lower volume day, so the stock did fall about 5%, including regular trading and after hours trading. That is basically all you guys need to know. You can get more in depth with this, but I don't think that's as important as going over Citadel Connect and actually exposing them in this video. But in order to understand what Citadel Connect is and how they're being exposed, you have to know what a dark pool is. So a brief rundown of this: it is a place where brokers... But to understand Citadel Connect and how they're being exposed due to their fraudulent activities, you have to understand the dark pools and exactly what they are. So here's a brief rundown. This is from Investopedia. So dark pools are private exchanges for trading securities that are not accessible by the investing public, also known as dark pools of liquidity. The name of these exchanges is a reference to their complete lack of transparency. Dark pools came about primarily to facilitate block trading by institutional investors who did not wish to impact the markets with their large order flows and obtain adverse prices for their trades. So that is literally what it is. They're doing these large orders. We are not being reported the full extent of what is going on in those dark pools. We're really not being reported any of it, to be quite honest. And even the little bit that we do get reported on, like the volume now as far as December 2020, it's so sketchy. It's hard to even believe what the actual exchanges do know and what information they are getting, because it is a total lack of transparency. But it's essentially where hedge funds, institutions, whoever it is, they go, institutional investors for the most part, they go to these dark pool exchanges and they can buy large amounts of stock or sell large amounts of stock without it affecting the share price on the open market. So essentially what the running theory is, I'm going to say it's a theory. We all pretty much know it's true. There's been a lot of factual data on this that apes have provided as far as due diligence is concerned, but nobody wants to get sued. So it is speculation when it does come down to it, but the running theory is that Citadel, for the most part, but other market makers, are essentially selling stock short on the open markets, covering it back on the dark pools for a cheaper price. And I do think that makes a lot of sense when you are seeing more inflows to AMC stock. Specifically, that day last week, we dropped 17% with regular trading and after hours trading. We've seen $1 million additional dollars going into AMC stock than actually going out of AMC stock on the lit exchanges. Keep in mind, we don't get the actual volume numbers for the dark pools. So that could be a huge reason and explanation right there as far as why AMC has been selling off so hard. But there is 59 registered alternative trading systems, aka dark pools, with the SEC as of May 2021, and that is pretty much all you guys need to know as far as dark pools and how this does relate to institutional investors overall, but really Citadel Connect, because like I said, they are behind a lot of what is going on. So Citadel Connect, when we are on Citadel's website, it says, as managing risk via off-exchange trading has become more important, institutional investors must connect to alternative sources of liquidity. Citadel Connect, our innovative immediate or cancel order IOC platform, is one of the fastest growing sources of off-exchange liquidity in the U.S. equities market, providing access to our principal liquidity for 8,000 exchange-listed securities. Citadel Connect enables us to provide investors through their executing brokers with efficient, reliable, and cost-effective access to our deep, unique principal liquidity. No wonder Citadel Connect is growing so fast with a lot of other brokers, institutional investors, and even hedge funds, because they are taking money off the backs of the retail traders, which Citadel does about 70 to 80% of all retail order flows. A lot of these are being routed to Citadel Connect or even other dark pools. So it's no wonder why this is such a growing issue and why retail investors are ultimately getting screwed here, as well as AMC, from everything we have talked about, should be going up much more. There is no arguing that. There has not been one piece of due diligence that will tell you otherwise, that AMC should be going down as you see more inflows to the stock, as you see the short interest going down while the stock is going down. It doesn't make much sense. But now that that background information is out of the way, let's get into actually exposing Citadel and what Joe McCain said, because he is the lead executive person for Citadel Connect that actually executes on these trades. So Joe McCain, head of execution services at Citadel Securities, says the company leveraged the technology and infrastructure that has been placed in the US for its off-exchange dark pool, Citadel Connect, and used that to help propel its SI, Citadel Connect Europe, CCE, up the rankings. In quotes, there's still some evolution and adaptation that's happening as people get more comfortable with the SI regime and how to interact with that type of liquidity, but it fits very much into the model we have developed in other asset classes, and we always look for areas where we can take our expertise and leverage it in different markets, he says. While some peers launch SIS instead of MiFID II mandate, McCain says it took a bit longer to get CCE up to full speed. Even though it launched in January 2018, it took a lot of last year to get all the connectivity in place, he says. But he puts the success since then down to two things. First, CCE trades more than 1,600 different securities, excluding exchange-traded funds, according to Rosenblatt data. CCE sits in second place by number of European stocks traded, ahead of competitors such as Jane Street and Hudson River Trading. This is where it gets very important, these next two paragraphs. Furthermore, according to independent broker data, the firm ranks as one of the best performing SIs in terms of breadth, size, quantity of liquidity, something McCain attributes to its ability to warehouse risk. In quote, we hold inventory for longer periods of time. So they are holding your order flows for longer periods of time. These are not executed right away. So also another going theory is when AMC stock is going up, people are coming in, FOMO buyers, day traders, whoever it is, or just people trying to buy more of the stock. Those orders aren't being executed as the stock goes up. Instead, you're getting a lot of sell orders that are being executed on the way up, and then you're getting a lot of buy orders that are executed on the way down or near the bottom. So that is the running theory here. But it does go on to say, we're not just executing with the client and then liquidating the risk in the market right afterwards. We're often holding inventory for timeframes that are longer than for what most of our clients are used to monitor for market impact, says McCain. So he is basically snitching, saying that they are holding these orders so it's hard to even see a market impact of what is going on. He literally just said it right here. We're often holding inventory for timeframes that are longer than what most of our clients are using to monitor for market impact. That is a big sentence, a very strong sentence to get out of this whole video, is that they are essentially admitting they are doing this fraudulent activity. And obviously it's not illegal, or the way that they're saying it is not illegal. Obviously it's probably illegal, since only about 15 employees at Citadel actually have access to where the trades are actually being confirmed at. So that is very important as well. But that is pretty much all you guys do need to know from this. That is really the bottom line of what is going on. And the more people that make videos about this, the more people talk about this, the better the overall AMC short squeeze will be, and the more open, honest, and transparent the stock market will be after the AMC mother of all short squeezes, we have already seen a lot of rule changes actually be implemented, but also a lot more that are still in the woodworks that may be implemented in the future that will ultimately make investing more fair for everybody. Now let's briefly go over the Ortex data, what they are saying. Keep in mind, I do not believe these numbers are accurate. It can give you a generalized concept of what is going on with the stock, but I think if you include naked short selling, if you include the data that is not being reported to Ortex, or just quite frankly Ortex calculation systems being off so bad just the other day, dropping the short interest about 5%, then you really have to take this with a grain of salt. I do personally think the number is a lot higher and well over 20%, but the share utilization is at 91.31%, so this is a very hard stock to borrow. We have been seeing this pretty much going up, but over the past 7 days has been pretty steady. Now the short interest change as far as Friday was negative 6.5%, and this is quite not possible. Let me read the numbers before I get into a rant about this. Return shares of 9.56 million, borrowed shares of 2.95 million, so that is a borrow change of 6.61 million. Guys, there is no way. We have seen such a sell-off last week. There is no possible way we've seen 6.61 million shares that were covered on a day we dropped 10%. That is simply impossible by any metric you guys are using to look at this data. It's simply impossible. But they do indicate the current short interest percentage of free float is 14.73%. Current shares sold short of 75.33 million. So like I said, I'm going to skip away from this just because you can't trust this data too much. You got to take it with a grain of salt. But as far as a potential gamma squeeze for next week, you're not seeing anything that would signal that to you unless we've seen a huge move in AMC stock and you see a lot of these out the money contracts start to go in the money, essentially getting a lot of delta hedging, which is a fancy way for saying market makers on the other side of trades actually having to buy those shares to sell them to you at your strike. So if you have a $100 AMC strike, if AMC is getting momentum and you're crossing about $95, you're going to see those market makers that have to sell you 100 shares at $100 start to buy those shares in between about $95 and $99 because the house always wins. They always make money. It's very rare that the house loses, as you guys know, as far as casino terms are concerned. So they'll buy the shares, let's say at $98, sell them to you at $100. So per contract, they would make about $200. And that is just a general concept of what is going on. It goes a little bit more in depth than that, but that is what is going on. So ultimately, I would also be very careful with the options that you guys are buying until the short squeeze is actually confirmed and happening. Then it's a great time to buy a couple options. But until that does happen, it's not the most advised thing. And I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial planner or your dad, so don't listen to any of these videos. Take this information with a grain of salt and always verify everything that is said in these videos. But the next most likely date that we could see a gamma squeeze is going to be August 20th. After that, you're looking at September 17th, and then after that, a huge day if the short squeeze hasn't happened yet by January 21st, 2022. Now I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know if it'll happen before then or after that. It doesn't really matter. We are in this for the long haul, no matter how long it takes for the synthetic shorts to be covered, the naked shorts to be covered, and the overall legal shorts to be covered. But that is going to do it for this video. Drop your like on the video if you want to see AMC go through the mother of all short squeezes, as well as comment down below what do you think about the Citadel Connect information that was provided to you in the video, as well as consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you guys want to get totally free stock in about 3 minutes time with no deposit necessary and no need to link a bank account, check out the link for public. They also do not use payment for order flow, so your orders are not going through Citadel. They're going straight to the lit exchanges, and you help do your part and take money out of Citadel's pockets by doing so. So also check out the buy and sell alerts link down below in the description if you guys want to be notified every time a day trade, swing trade, or long-term investment is made in AMC or any other stock. Check that out. I cannot forget to say that. That is a great community and it literally pays for itself. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.